Hello, my name is Navigator, and in today's video I wanted to show you my entire Fasnacht mask collection. As you guys know, Fasnacht's been going on for the past 2 weeks, and just like all of you, I have been hunting and grinding to hopefully get all of the Fasnacht masks, and today I have finally done that. So, before I get into this, I want to make a clarification. Since this is my collection, I'm not super concerned on getting every different, variant and colored variant of these masks. My main goal was to acquire every different individual character from the Fasnacht event. And as you guys know, there's a bunch of different characters. So I wanted to have, one of every single different model. So with that being said, what I'm going to do here is just kind of give you a tour of every single mask, maybe talk about the rarity a little bit, and that's pretty much it. So with all that being said, let's get into this. I kind of had a little bit of a weird setup here in my shelter. Some of the Fasnacht displays were not, going against the wall well, so some of them might be floating or in some weird way, but don't worry about it too much. All right. First one I want to start with is going to be the Fasnachtler mask. This was for Fallout First members. It was available this year, and I believe until tomorrow, Tuesday, February 28th, 2023, you can still pick this up in the Atomic Shop. Again, that's a Fallout First one, but all of these ones on the wall here will either be Atomic Shop or you can actually get them in the game. And I will clarify that as well. So starting on the wall here, the first one we got is the Skull Mask. Pretty common. I'm sure all of you guys know what that is. I don't really need to spend too much time on it, but it is pretty cool. Next over here, I guess our first rare one on the list is going to be the Brahmin Mask. Also, I'm sorry, it keeps going back and forth. Maybe I'll just... Yeah, you guys, it's okay. This is the Brahmin mask. Pretty cool, pink one. This is actually the first rare mask that I ever got, and I love it. It's super cool. It's super awesome. Far better than the Chali, the Moo helmet. Over here, we have the Blissful Buffoon, or whatever it is. I think it's just the Buffoon mask. This one's pretty sweet. I actually needed this and one other one to complete the collection, and I got this one, and I was super happy about that. So, again, that is the Buffoon mask. Coming up, actually, let me stay on the bottom here just so I don't have to do all this again. Over here is the Deathclaw mask. This is by far one of the most popular ones, at least this year. I think people like this one a lot because it is, not like a crazy character. For the most part, it's just a Deathclaw head. So, there you go. Over here on the left of that is going to be the Fasnacht Frog helmet. This was available with the Fasnacht bundle. I'm not exactly too sure what it was called, but it should still be in the Atomic Shop. And this character was exclusive to that bundle. Again, the Fasnacht Frog. Another one from the Atomic Shop that we have here is going to be the Old Man Summer Mask. And I clarified in the beginning of the video that I wouldn't be, adding any variants of masks, but personally, I would consider this to be a totally separate thing than the Winterman mask, and I guess the number one signifier of that is that the Old Man Summer mask has these 3 piercings right here, and he also has green eyes as opposed to the blue ones that you will see very shortly. This is by far my favorite Fasnacht mask in total. I wish it was maybe something you could get from the event itself as opposed to the Atomic Shop, but I just think this is super cool. So, moving on, the next one we're going to talk about here is going to be the Jester mask. This is another common mask, and I'm sure all of you guys have this already, so it's really no point in mincing words. Moving on here is going to be the Moonshine Mama mask. This is one that you could get originally from the event, but then they added it to the Atomic Shop. At least I think that's how it goes, and I was fortunate enough to pick this up this year and add it to my collection. This one is really, really cool. Definitely one of the more unique ones, as it has a missile in the right eye there. So pretty sweet. The first part of the Royal Fasnacht mask collection I want to talk about is going to be the Queen mask. And before you guys say anything, I did buy this. I did buy this set because I wanted to complete the entire collection. I wanted to have all the masks and make this kind of video for you today. I was very upset about these masks being in the Atomic Shop. I really wanted them to be part of the event and you'd be able to earn them, but that's just how it goes. So I had plenty of atoms that I wasn't really spending on stuff, and I figured this would be a good thing to spend them on. So there you have it. All right, I believe that is all of the ones on the bottom row there, so it won't be going in and out of me camouflaging, but let's continue here. Next up, we have the Giant Mask. Pretty common. Reminds me kind of like an H.G. Wells story but it's pretty cool. And the red variant in the Atomic Shop is just as cool. Moving on, though, we have the Goblin here. I'm sure all of you guys recognize this one, and you guys probably have 50 of these sitting in your inventory right now. Moving on is the Fasnacht Man Mask. This is a favorite of an old PvPer named Clown Daddy, and that is what I always recognize whenever I see this mask is, PvPing and Clown Daddy. But this is really such a fun mask, and I believe you can actually find this in a certain location that isn't Fasnacht. So if this is one that you don't have right now, you actually are able to get this with the Fasnacht event not being around. So, moving on, let's just kind of finish this wall here. This is going to be the Jack mask, another part of that Royal collection. There is one more that I'll show off here pretty soon, but again, that is going to accompany the Queen one that I just showed off there, and yeah, that's the Jack mask. Over here, my second favorite mask is going to be the Winter Man mask. It is very similar to the Old Man Summer one that I just showed you, except he's a little bit colder. He's got a white beard and kind of blue skin, stuff like that. This one is, I think, in my opinion, the rarest mask you can get. I heard from somebody that they were duping this at some point, so the rarity went down, but I actually got one of these. So this one specifically I traded for, but I actually got another one RNG this year, and I was super happy about that. So, moving on, let's go down here to the Loon mask. This is one that people are, going crazy over this year, and I actually got this one this year as well. My first time ever getting it. Super happy about that. This one's actually really, really unique. Moving on, an old one. This is going to be the Demon Mask. Nothing too crazy. I like this one a lot, though. I like this one and the Fiend, which I'll get to in a second, because they have hair and they look fairly human, as opposed to something like something like that. So, but I guess they're not human if it's a demon. But I don't know. This one's pretty cool. Moving on to, this is the Fiend mask. This is another one. This is part of the 3 that were released in the year of 2022, so this is fairly new, and actually my friend Wastelord just got one of these from the event, and he was super happy about that. This was a mask that I got on the last Fasnacht event you could possibly play last year, so I got this, at the last second, and I was super happy about that. And yeah, I'm very, very glad to have that mask. I think it's super cool. Moving on, we have the King mask up here. This is going to end the Royal Fasnacht mask, whatever. Let me see if I can actually take my lever action out here and I can give you guys a full kind of display. But yeah, that's the King one. I will say out of the 3 Royal ones, that's probably my favorite. He's kind of like, I don't know, looks like a drunk teen, something like that. But I just always thought that was kind of funny. And yeah, out of the 3, that is definitely my favorite. Over here we have the Witch Mask, a pretty common one. Yeah, nothing really I can say about it, and yeah, that's really it. That's the Witch Mask. Over here, though, we do have the Raven Mask. I actually learned that this could be a reference to, actually I think it was a comment on one of my videos saying that this mask is a reference to an Italian puppet show called Rockefeller, where there was a raven or a crow with a top hat like that, and I actually looked that up and it was pretty cool. So this actually might be a reference to an old Italian puppet show. So there you go. All right, so we've covered this wall, and let's finish up on this wall. So right here, we have the Owl Mask. This is one that's actually pretty popular with people, even though it's an uncommon mask. I see it almost everywhere, and people are always, trying to get their hands on one. But yeah, it shouldn't really be too hard to find one, though. Moving on here on the left is going to be the Hag Mask. This was the last mask that I needed to complete my collection, and I believe I got this yesterday, 2 days ago, something like that. This is not really one of my favorite ones, but this is part of the 3 that were added last year, and it is definitely pretty rare. So keep a lookout for that. Keep a lookout for that next year, I guess, since this event is coming to a close. Over here, though, we have the Crazy Guy mask. This one, I will say, is probably one of the more common out of the rare masks. I feel like a lot of people have this one, but I think it's pretty cool. I love the smile, and I guess he does kind of look like a crazy guy. So there you have it. All right, let's see. Let's round off with these 3 right here. This is going to be the Soldier Mask. I like this one a lot. Reminds me of Napoleon. I think that's exactly what they were going for, too. And yeah, all around pretty cool. You don't really see this one in vendors too often. Well, I guess outside of the 2 weeks that the event is around. Over here, I think this is probably the one that people get the most from this event. This is going to be the Fasnacht Sun Mask. This one pairs really well with the Moonshine Mama one. They're pretty cool. And when I'm displaying them, I usually shelf right next to each other. And finally, over here is going to be the Toothy Man Mask. In my opinion, this is the creepiest out of all of them. The Fiend takes second place, but the Toothy Man, I don't know what it is. He just really, really creeps me out. I don't know what it is. But I believe that is all of the masks. Yeah, I think that we've talked about them. And yeah, I am almost 100% positive that this is every mask that is obtainable. There is one outlier in that. That's going to be the monster mask that you get from the I don't know, the Halloween event that you do at the Watoga High School, whatever one that is. You can actually see some of the Fasnacht robots will wear that mask, so I guess technically it counts as a Fasnacht mask. I actually had a player, I think he was like a level 1000 or something. He was wearing that mask, and I messaged him, and he was like, "Yeah, it was an old glitch, but I think it's been patched, so you can't get that anymore." But as far as I know, this is every mask that is obtainable in the game, either through Atomic Shop, either through Fallout First, or through the event itself. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Man, it has been quite the 2 weeks here. I'm sure it's been the same with you guys, getting a million uncommon masks and maybe getting one of the rare masks every once in a while. It is definitely a grind, but hopefully you guys will now see why I love this event so much. It is almost a gamble, you know, you put a lot of time into it and you either get something really, really awesome, well, at least in my opinion, or, you know, something that is basically next to garbage. So there you go. Folks, if I got anything wrong here, although I'm sure I didn't, I don't really know what I could have gotten wrong, be sure to let me know in the comments below. The final thing that I will say is that none of these masks are for sale or for trade. I just finished this collection. Maybe next year I'll think about that, but for now, you know, these things are going to be staying on display in my stash box, so please don't ask me about that. But again, you know, actually I want to say a quick shout out to, you know, people like Mysterious Monk, people like Wastelord, a gentleman named Reaper that I met, a couple other folks I'm sure that I'm forgetting here, Captain Shank as well. They've kind of been playing with me during this whole Fasnacht grind, and I appreciate them sticking with me and listening to me, you know, fanboy about Fallout and Fasnacht. So folks, that's all I have in this video. Again, this is every single Fasnacht mask that is obtainable, or at least every single character from the Fasnacht event. So there you have it, folks. My name is Navigator. Have a nice day.